Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at a golden oldie, maybe not as old as you think, but this is the Breitling Old Navitimer 2 reference D13022, 41 millimeters in stainless steel with accents of 18 karat yellow gold. This is a pre-2000 model that was lovingly crafted by Breitling's watchmakers to evoke the original 1952 to 1954 Navitimer Model 806. Now that one was a breakthrough because, having been designed explicitly for pilots from the get-go, it was the first complete circular slide rule flight computer integrated into a wristwatch fit for flight duty. So now what this old Navitimer 2 does is it accommodates modern watchmaking refinements and a contemporary automatic winding movement with a date. The original didn't have either of those refinements, but it fits it into a package that's very close in size and aesthetics to the original of the 1950s. Now on the wrist you can see that this case is 41 millimeters. Now that's a good size because the original was 40, so we're off to a good start from a historic tribute sense. Well, the original was also a triple register chronograph. It was what's known as the tri-compacts, so you would have your subdials at 3, 6, and 9 o'clock. The addition of the date and the value 7750 automatic winding movement shifts everything around 90 degrees clockwise. I think that's a good trade-off for the usability of having that date as well as the automatic winding convenience, the 42-hour power reserve, the hacking stop-second complication, and the toughness of that Valjoux 7750 base doing business as the Breitling Caliber 13. So on the wrist, that's the reason why the arrangements of the subdial isn't precisely the same as the original. What does evoke the original is that combination of gorgeous Arabic numerals, gilt-style golden printing on a black dial base. Now you can see on my wrist 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference. This is a classical image right here. This is roughly the size that a mid-20th century pilot taking off in something like a Lockheed Constellation would have seen. The fit is superb with this bolstered, contrasting stitch alligator leather strap. It's got a little bit more substance than a traditional aviator's calfskin, and I like that because, first of all, alligator is more refined, befitting of a contemporary luxury watch, and nicely paired with the yellow gold accent of the bezel itself, but also because alligator is longer wearing. You'll get more life out of alligator, and being that this is a luxury product, I like the fact that it's got some longevity built in, engineered in by the design team, and that the strap is also part of that. Now there's more to this watch's fit and feel than the simple span of the case and the nature of the strap material. There's also the thickness. Now the watch is 15 millimeters thick, so it's got a fairly high stance on the wrist. That might be the only strike against the watch's potential as a dress reference, because I feel like with the combination of the silver, the golden, and the black elements, as well as that alligator strap, the contrasting stitch, and the yellow gold bezel, this watch cuts a very appropriate profile for formal attire. I would not hesitate to wear this on the basis of its appearance, only if you insist on wearing exceptionally tight cuffs. That would be the only limitation on this watch as a dress reference. 3 ATM water resistance. You don't want to go jumping in the pool with this one on the wrist. Definitely take it off. That's the time for your Breitling Super Ocean. This is why we have rotations of watches. But for every other situation, for work and for play, I really endorse the aesthetic of this watch. Also the proportions of it, with the large, bold, traditional lugs, the gaiter strap, the contrasts, the coloration, and the moderate size. This is an outstanding, aesthetically versatile watch. Now the old Navitimer 2 does feature some refinements above and beyond the original that relate to the strap and the buckle. Now the buckle is unusual in that the original would have been a pin buckle. This one is a deployant. But like I said, this watch makes some concessions to modernity and the fact that it is a luxury product, an upscale article. So you get that deployant much more secure than a pin buckle as on the original watch. This isn't one you're going to want to drop, and Breitling's got your back with the deployant. What it also has is this unique minderless fitment system. You fit the watch, the strap goes in here, and then it tucks through this buckle underneath on top of the deployant fold. So when the watch is on the wrist, it reads like this, completely seamless. There's no overrun through looped minders, creating a very clean aesthetic, and the strap and the buckle are part of that scheme. So Breitling's really thought out the refinement of this model. The combination of the two-tone, the dial scheme, even the basic construction of the strap and the buckle lend this watch to all manner of situations, from the cockpit. If you do want to use the circular slide rule, the original flight computer is still there, ready and willing, to the dinner table, where this watch is going to be a welcome companion in any company. This is an outstanding reference because it pays due deference to history while making just enough updates to keep up with the times and keep itself current. The watch looks great. It feels great. Again, with that circular slide rule, if you do happen to take it to a dinner party, I recommend you go on Breitling's website and use their computerized tutorial, because nothing I could tell you here is going to have the demonstrative effect of playing with it in flash animation, but you can use this watch for currency conversions. You can use it to calculate the tip at dinner, and let's face it, if you're wearing a watch like this, people are going to be looking at you expecting you to pay, or at the very least, handle the tip. So with great power comes great responsibility. Again, Breitling's got your back. Calculate it with the circular slide rule. And I can also say that, having experienced private pilot flight in the military sphere, I did actually use a circular slide rule in the cockpit of an aircraft to calculate speed, to calculate rate of climb, fuel consumption. So again, math is math, and this watch remains a functional backup to your flight computer should you need it. If you have an interest in aviation, this is a great historic collector's piece. If you have an interest in mid-century tool watches, this is an essential reference. This is what the Speedmaster Professional is to Omega. It's what the Submariner is to Rolex. It's the flagship of the brand. It's the face of the franchise. The Navitimer is Breitling. I'm showing the case back because I want to point out that Breitling goes so far as to put a Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion scale on the case back. That's how dedicated to purpose and thematically consistent this watch is. You also get a nice view of the case back, because I know there are those who insist on case back shots even when there isn't a sapphire. Curiosity satisfied, we return to the dial, and that combination of gilt print, golden accents, and silver on black still zings me. And if it zings you, you can see this Breitling Old Navitimer 2, reference D13022, on our website, Watch You Want.